Hey, what's happening, gamers? Welcome back to Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2! We're going into the 2000s with today's arcade thingy. So if you guys haven't already, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. First like goal is 100 likes, and let's dive into the 2000s. Or rather, if Kwing can remember the 2000s. Because I wasn't really a 2000s kid. I was in the workforce in the 2000s. So that means adulthood. So, it means I didn't have enough time to stop and watch cartoons because I was working 9 to 5. So I'm going to do my best here. You guys might have to help me out here, but I'm going to make some guesses about what the early 2000s cartoons were. So let me see if I'm correct about this. Plankton was first released in the year 2000, but he showed up in the 1999 SpongeBob series, so we're going to start with Plankton. Danny Phantom and Ember, also 2000s. Invader Zim, 2000s. Jenny the Teenage Robot, early 2000s, I believe. El Tigre is also late 2000s, I think. I'm not sure, though, but we're going to go with that. And then Jimmy Neutron. And then that just leaves the Avatar characters for their own stream. I believe. I don't know where this character is. Lucy Loud. I don't know what year she is. Probably late 2000, like 2010s maybe. I'm not sure though. I've actually never seen this show, so I don't know. I'm gonna guess that she and Lincoln Loud or whatever are from the newer Disney, Nickelodeon stuff. I said Disney. Whoopsies. There it is. Okay, so Plankton is first. Plankton, I don't even know what time it is in it. 3-minute mark? 2-minute mark! Plankton arcade run, let's go. Now, Plankton is slow, but powerful. He has a terrible recovery, and we're probably going to lose a lot, so just heads up. We have... Oh, I like smiley face Plankton, that's kind of fun. Frowny face Plankton. Missing teeth Plankton. We're going with this one, because that to me is kind of hilarious, the fact that it has a smiley face. Okay, here we go.
3, 2,
oh my gosh. Plankton tackles arcade mode, presenting nature against Hugh. Oh wait, is it Hugh? No, it's Hugh. What's his name? Nigel. Nigel Thornberry, which we've already done because he was the late 90s. So I lost my template for Nickelodeon. I had to make a new one. But I did the best I could with it. I was also trying to find a icon that said the 2000s, but wasn't able to. The computer crashed, so like I didn't save the template. I thought I did. No, it makes sense if you don't save the template, it goes bye-bye. So I'm a little late, guys, because I had some chores to do, and I took care of them. Without protesting. I still have dishes to do later, but I took care of one thing. Whoa. And then here I am, little late. So tomorrow is a Nintendo Direct of sorts. So we already know about that, so people can stop tagging us on social media. And there was no Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl video today because I couldn't get out of bed. My headache was too much. Whoa.
finish!
Yeah. Hopefully my headache goes away by the time Mario RPG comes out Thursday morning at 10 a.m. because that's going to be our big draw. And then I think we will be doing Persona Tactics at the same time. So it looks like we're going to be doing 2 series back-to-back again. So that'll be interesting. Caped costumes. No cape costumes, that's fine. That is no problemo. Alright guys, so I can't see the likes and shares, so make sure you guys are liking and sharing. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, 62 likes after how many minutes? 4 minutes? Not bad. Alright, let's shoot for 75 likes in the next 5 minutes if we can. That'd be fantastic. Ow! Like I said, I'm not very good at Plankton here. He's like a tank. He moves like a tank. Ouch. Not a fan of that item, but I can drag everybody into my plight and pain, so... Terrible recovery! He's like, I don't know, I guess the game was like, we need another version of Reptar in this game, so we're gonna give Plankton a mech suit. So, speaking of interesting mech suits, so a game that Amber and I did not cover last year has some amazing DLC this year. It's a kaiju battle game, and they have officially licensed Godzilla characters and Ultraman characters. And it's on Nintendo Switch. I think it's called Giga Battle. It was a third-party attempt at like a kaiju battle game that did not have licensed characters. And now they have like a whole wave of DLC where they are going to be implementing DLC characters. So this November was Ultraman, and then they've got, I don't know if Power Rangers is coming, but something big is coming. Like another like mecha battle thing. I don't know what it's going to be though. Maybe Gundams, who knows. But Godzilla was added in August to like, I don't know. It's basically like some of those like kaiju games that Amber and I have played in the past, but this one is really good, so we might end up looking at the DLC for that. Especially when we don't have any games to cover in December. I'm thinking we're going to do that kaiju battle game, because it looks fun. We love fighting games. And also, I mean, you can't go wrong with licensed DLC for Godzilla that looks fantastic. And Ultraman. And I believe they have 5 Godzilla characters in their DLC package, and they have 5 Ultraman characters, spanning some of the more popular and current Ultraman characters. So if you guys are into that, I would check out, I think it's called Giga Battle is the name of it. I just recently followed them on Twitter because I was like, wow, is this coming out? Because we need new content. And it's like, no, apparently the game came out last year. And I was like, oh. Came out in December of last year, I believe. So we totally missed it. It's a League of Legends story mode? Ba-boom! Yeah, look at how long it took me to take that guy down. I'm just not a very good Plankton player. Like, I still have 2 stock remaining, but I am slow as all get out. Like, this is gonna take me 20 minutes just to get through the arcade mode with Plankton. Ugh. Not doing well. I don't like characters that weigh me down. Kind of bothers me. Whoa. The Song of Nunu, it's called? Yeah. Okay. Okay. I mean, we get paid this week. And we always set aside a little bit for our business, like, to cover games, so... Okay. Oh, it's cute. And that's a League of Legends thing?
It's a story. As far as I'm gonna look into it, but it's not online, it's just a story. It just has League of Legends characters in it. It's like a story-based, like, adventure game, I'm pretty sure. So
basically, it's another League of Legends spin-off game.
Yeah, it's like a spin-off game. It's not, you don't play online as a League of Legends like, style game.
So...
Yeah, it's E-rated, it's so cute.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Garfield, Garfield's trailer was released today, starring Chris Pratt. And, like, how do I explain this? Samuel L. Jackson plays Garfield's dad in it. Like, we actually get to see Garfield's dad, who is a stray cat. And Samuel L. Jackson is more expressive in his role as Garfield's dad than basically Chris Pratt can follow. Like, and also, my other criticisms of Garfield in this new movie, from what I've seen with the trailer, Garfield is supposed to be like a very grumpy and kind of like apathetic, boring-sounding cat. That's why Bill Murray was a perfect casting.
Right.
Because basically, Lorenzo Music was doing an impression of Bill Murray as Garfield.
He's supposed to be a cat that just sleeps all the time.
Right. So Chris Pratt's version of Garfield, from what I can see from the trailer, he's too upbeat. It's like Emmett from the Lego movie.
Hey, Garfield was supposed to not care.
Yeah, Garfield's supposed to be a cat that doesn't care, and he's just kind of like, you know, very... yeah, just kind of like, oh, I hate Mondays, but the way Chris Pratt does it, he's kind of like, I hate Mondays. It's like, he's...
No, Chris Pratt,
right.
That's not how you're supposed to say
He did a better job with Mario than he's doing with Garfield. And that's just from the trailer. Like, immediately when I saw the trailer for Mario, I was sold. I was like, okay, Chris Pratt can do this. There's no problem. But I watched the trailer for the Garfield thing, and he's too plucky and happy. Like, Odie seems like the grumpy one. He's always rolling his eyes, and it's not like playful teasing with Garfield. He just looks like Odie is just like bored with life. It's like they got him role reversed or something like that. Odie's supposed to be spunky and annoying to the point where Garfield kicks him off the table.
Right, that's why he doesn't like him, because he's always happy.
Yeah. So, anyway, the Garfield movie comes out next year, and the animation looks great. It's a Sony film, again. So it's another Sony Pictures or Sony animated film. But it does not use the Spider-Verse animated style, like the Puss in Boots movie that DreamWorks just did. It goes back to the more, I would say, traditional, like CGI looking films. Kind of think like Ratatouille or maybe Moana. It looks like a Disney Pixar like 3D animated film. It looks pretty good. Like, I thought people were gonna keep using the Spider-Verse style to death, like in their, you know, upcoming films and stuff, but they, other than Puss in Boots, I haven't really seen a lot with that. So,
yeah.
But I think the movie looks cute.
Garfield loves lasagna, says Batman.
That's right, guys. You're almost at 70 likes. Keep pushing. There you go. Let's go for 80 next. Plankton continues to slowly dominate the competition. Very slowly. We're fighting Gerald and Lucy Loud again. Ow. You did the Halloween party in Spider-Man today? That's cool. Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. Perfecto. Yep.
Honestly, like, I just think they should have had Garfield played by someone who's in their 30s or 40s, because those people are mentally drained.
I mean, Chris Pratt is in his 40s.
Wow, well, maybe they shouldn't have someone who is literally eating no sugar and always has all these trainers. They should get just somebody off the street who works like 70 hours a week and is tired all the time. Have that person play Garfield, because you're supposed to sound tired. Alright, Luke is going to be taking over the seat of power. You guys can't see, but I'm sitting in the seat of power. So Luke is going to be back here. Get in his spot. Luke, your hands, Luke. Everything is clean. Now just wear off his drawers.
Wow.
Oh, you're back. Okay.
I may be a hobble, but I can still move quick. Where did my hat go? My long, luscious locks is now in my eyes.
No, I don't know.
You might be sitting on it. Yep. Alright, got my skull cap. Alright, guys and gals, let's get those legs up. And it's time to fight the Flying Dutchman with Plankton. Huzzah! I will say the Garfield, like, the really cute aspect of the trailer is the fact they show him as a little homeless kitten. He meets John for the first time, and John feeds him a pepperoni and dooms society because Garfield eats everything in the Italian restaurant, and John gets blamed. Yeah, because John is sad because he doesn't have a family, and then he meets Garfield, and Garfield licks him. He lets him in from outside. He gives him a little lick, and John's like, "Oh, little guy, you hungry?" And he gives him a pepperoni, and Garfield's like, "I like this." And then he eats John's entire pizza, and then he scours the restaurant and eats all the Italian food, and John is probably kicked out of the restaurant, would be my guess. It was kind of funny. But, I mean, you don't see him get kicked out. I'm just assuming that's what's going to happen, the way that scene is playing out. It's not like Hollywood writers are very clever. Like, usually, that type of build-up, that little comedy shtick, where he's eating everything, is going to have some type of consequence, and the consequence, probably John's going to get kicked out of the restaurant and take Garfield home. That'd be my guess. It looks cute. I mean, I think that, the animation style is fantastic. We're going to lose Plankton. Bill Murray was busy doing Ghostbusters, is what the consensus is from the internet. Bill Murray is in the new Ghostbusters movie. Yep, because it takes place in New York City, so both Ray, Peter, and Winston will have roles in the movie. Yep. Egon is no longer with us. Egon's grandchildren and his daughter and her boyfriend will be the new Ghostbusters in the movie. Like, they are the new generation. So Paul Rudd finally gets to become a Ghostbuster, which you can see he's very ecstatic about in the trailer that they showed. And I'm pretty sure the blonde with Ray's goggles is Egon's daughter, the mother of the two children. That's my guess, or she could be some other new person, but I think basically it's Egon's family as the new Ghostbusters at the end of the movie, or in the movie. And Paul Rudd is basically going to be like the, Peter character. He's going to be the very funny guy. And then you have the girl who played Egon's granddaughter, who played like the scientific, Egon role. And then probably one of the boys will be like the Winston character.
Well, I'm over here. I'll say
Ah!
what I really liked about that movie, I'm really glad they showed the girl being a nerd, because some girls are nerds.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people kind of think that only boys can be nerds, but some girls really like science. Like, they get really into it, so it's kind of cute that she got the science and math. Not her brother. Like, she became, I don't want to say weirdo, but I mean, she got his intellect, basically. Which is really interesting. And personality traits as well, which is a little bit cute.
Yep.
I found that very endearing, actually.
So just based on the trailer, I'm going to guess that the granddaughter is the sciencey one. The comedic relief is going to be Paul Rudd. The person who will drive Ecto-1 will be the teenage boy. And then the mother will kind of be like the leader of the group, because she's the mom. That's my guess. I could be wrong, but I don't know. That's what I would think. Because moms make good leaders. They can be leaders for their family, especially if it's a single mom.
Yeah, I mean, if she's like directing her kids and stuff,
Exactly.
it would kind of make sense. She would be
Yep.
that would be kind of, yep, totally.
Afterlife was a beautiful send-off for Egon. Totes. Alright, so we're still in this. We're going to fight Raphael next. And how are you guys doing on the likes? You're almost at 80? Great job, everybody. Keep going. Fantastic job. We have another Nickelodeon stream for you guys tomorrow. Will be the Avatar characters. This is going to be, pretty sure, all of the 2000s.
It was a beautiful send-off for Egon from Afterlife, says Sammy Bear King.
Mm-hmm.
Toznar says, hi, Luke and Amber. Just got back from work. I just got to work. Hope you guys have a good day, even though I was kind of close to being fired, but I hope everyone's doing well.
Oh my god.
Oh, we'll definitely keep you in our thoughts and prayers, Toznar. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Toznar. Who would ever? I would never. You're such a hard worker and such a sweetheart, Toznar. Shame on anyone for doing that, jerks. Oh, we'll definitely keep you in our thoughts and prayers, doesn't our?
Wow, that would have been insta-death if that was Smash Brothers. Holy cow.
I was gonna say, I'll just pray for everyone else to get fired so they don't have to keep you.
Don't do that.
No, I won't. But I will be praying for you, doesn't our, of course. Yeah.
Nice moves, eh? See you.
I think they have John Raymond streams now. Ow! I have to wrangle you in? Why?
Finish.
Oh gosh. This always happens.
What?
You're literally, Luke. The only reason why you think that I'm cute today is because I covered the streams and you were tired.
No, I think you actually look cute and you're not stressed today. When you're stressed, you have like this don't approach me aura. You don't have that aura.
What are you talking about?
You're like a cat.
I do not have a don't approach me aura.
Yes, you do. Yesterday I was like, if I said anything wrong or anything that might have been mistaken out of context, you would have exploded and I would have died.
I don't think so.
And I wanted to make sure Ambi went upstairs and slept and had a nice night. So I was trying my best to keep my ADD in check.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's okay. I know what I'm talking about. So.
Now, 3, 2,
I'm still alive with Plankton. This is kind of amazing.
go!
Da, 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 da. I'm slow as dirt, though. I'm the worst Plankton player ever.
I'm really glad that I did another episode of Mineko's Night Market.
Do you like it?
Well, I'm just proud of myself that I've actually started 3 morning series, because usually I would have quit by now. I like the fact that I looked it up to see how far I had left in the game. This game will be pretty short, but it's a grind. This episode was extra long, so the next episodes I won't always go to the night market every episode. Also, it took me longer than usual because I had to make the thumbnail. So...
Alright guys, we're 22 minutes in and you guys are almost at 80. Keep it up. Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah, basically, like, because, I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Nothing else is kind of important.
I think also a reason why they basically get celebrities, like big A celebrities to voice characters, is because they're trying to bring that fan base into the movie. So it's not necessarily that they're picking a voice of the character that sounds like the character anymore. Like they're, using that person's fan base to try to get them to be like, hey, like when Bill Murray played Garfield. It's like, don't you want to see Bill Murray play Garfield? And it's like, yes, I do, because he is an old sourpuss. It's perfect.
Right, he's supposed to be...
But
yeah,
Bill Murray's popularity is not as big as Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel L. Jackson transcends time itself. So...
Yeah, he's already been fan cast as the King of Hyrule.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Somebody already made a video where they were fan casting people. They fan casted, I don't remember who they... Oh, they... So they fan casted... I don't know, like, there's this video online, I should retweet it on my Twitter, but it's interesting.
Uh-oh.
They fan casted Keanu Reeves as Link.
No.
Then...
Wait, is it a CGI movie or a live action?
I don't know. Then they
fan
casted Scarlett Johansson as Zelda. And Samuel L. Jackson as the King. And The Rock is Ganondorf.
Okay, that's interesting casting.
Let's see. Danny DeVito is somewhere in the movie, but I forget who he is. But the most hilarious fan casting from this is, basically people wanted to see Miyamoto as the weird mask salesman.
The
happy mask salesman. They think that Miyamoto would work perfectly for that. Literally voicing that character. And I forgot what the other characters were. Danny DeVito as Tingle, LOL says Chad. So yeah.
Alright guys, likes up. Let's try to get up to 85 during the Vlad fight.
Oh, yeah.
My neck. It's not that funny, Vlad. I literally popped my neck. It hurt.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Alright, so we're probably gonna have to continue fighting Vlad. Just heads up, people. like, I sense a continue coming because I'm not very good at this game. I am doing a disservice to all Plankton players out there. Ah! Ouch.
Yeah, thank you so much for the encouraging words you said this morning, Doesn't Art. It meant a lot to me, and I will definitely keep that in my thoughts and prayers. It has to do with, he had medical issues, so, that's why they were gonna try to do stuff shady when he literally had a medical problem.
Yeah, I know
Luke
what
has
that's
gone
like.
through that, actually.
I've gone through being fired as employee for night.
Well, we will be praying very hard that he's pushing himself to go to work now, so it doesn't happen, so.
Makes sense.
So yeah, yep, definitely Doesn't Art. We're very proud of you, and thank you for the kind words. And for the encouragement, Doesn't Art. Virtual hugs. I like The Rock or Terry Crews as Ganondorf. Says Chad. I mean, yeah, having Ganondorf be a really big guy would make sense, because Ganondorf is a really big guy, I guess. I mean, I don't know if he's like a bodybuilder, but I guess he would be kind of to hold like a broadsword and stuff.
Alright, so Invader Zim. Invader Zim released the same day as Fairly Oddparents. Interesting.
I hear Homer is not going to show. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Homer's not going to beat up his son anymore.
Wow, interesting, Daniel.
And that's been a staple of Simpsons humor for 30 years. So we'll find out what happens. Either Simpsons' popularity is going to increase or it's going to wane, and Disney killed another property. Find out. Because sometimes you just don't mess with the classics. That's what it's that type of lowbrow humor that people expect.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I was told like a while ago, and somebody told me this, like when I was a little kid, one of my family members that spent a lot of time in Europe basically said that they felt that these Warner Brothers cartoons that Americans watch, such as Roadrunner and stuff, were extremely violent, and it made sense why United States had like all these, you know, problems with violence in the country because of Roadrunner and Bugs Bunny and all this.
You want to know something though? Those same people then make the argument that video games is the plague of society. They always are looking for a boogeyman. They're not actually doing what they should be doing, which is parents' responsibility to help teach their kid not only right from wrong, but what's real and what's fiction. They're not doing that.
And also how to deal with stress. Like,
society always makes a new big boogeyman to post the finger at and be like, they're to blame, not my poor parenting. Little Jimmy learned this from watching TV. TV's to blame.
Yeah, it's just, I really don't think like somebody dropping an anvil on a bird is gonna make you feel like going and doing violence in a public area. I don't see any correlation between those two things. Like, I don't think that Warner Brothers cartoons are, yeah, they're violent, but it's supposed to be funny. And that's like the same thing with Homer and his son. Like, I think it's just supposed to be funny because it's ridiculous. Like, no one would ever really do
they're not
that.
glorifying it. It's
they're making him like he's a bad dad because he's not a good person.
They're showing that Homer is a jerk and that Bart is a brat. That's the whole thing. Yep.
Yeah.
Homer is not the benchmark for parenting, and you know, Bart is a bad son. That's the joke. But the problem is society has gotten to the point where they view parody as real life.
Right.
And it's supposed to be like Family Guy, American Dad, The Simpsons. They were all supposed to be not a mirror of society. They were supposed to show you like the darkest aspects of what some of society is like. There are some, you know, people that really abuse their children, and that's wrong. So The Simpsons was supposed to be like a showcase of bad parenting, and that was the joke. They orchestrated the whole show around that, yes, Homer is married to his wife and he has kids and he didn't divorce her, but he's a deadbeat dad who's an idiot. So, like, of course he doesn't know how to love his children and, you know, all this other stuff. And you watch that and you're kind of like, huh, my life isn't as bad as The Simpsons. That's what the whole mentality was.
Right, you're supposed to, like, laugh at it like, well, at least my life isn't this bad.
Exactly. That's what
like,
the 90s and the 80s was. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, imagine if you were this bad, that would be insane. Yeah, exactly. Like, it kind of makes you feel better about yourself because you're like, oh, at least I'm not as bad at this as this, you know?
But the problem is, we've come to a point now where a lot of people can't tell the difference between fiction and reality. And if they see something they don't like in fiction or art, they try to either censor it or remove it completely because you're not allowed to exist because you hurt my feelings.
Yeah, I kind of think, like, if you were a dad that was watching The Simpsons and you did see that happen and you were a little forceful with your kids more often than not, or you were doing the wrong thing with them, it might actually convict you. It might be like, wow, they're showing this in a cartoon as like the ultimate like bad thing for me to literally do this to my child. Maybe I need to think about how I'm treating my own kids. Like, it almost makes you, it would almost convict you more than like make you want to do it. I don't think that anyone would feel like doing it because they see it.
All right, guys.
That's just my personal opinion.
Invader Zim time. So we are now in the year 2001.
What, Max?
Zim.
Homer strangling Bart will never be forgotten. Thank you for that, Max.
I'm gonna go with evil Invader Zim.
Thank you, Geo says Luke and Ember, you guys.
2,
I know lots of things because of you guys taught me about the real world instead of Twitter, you know what I mean? And I'm thankful for learning from you guys. Thank you, Geo. I really appreciate that.
We actually taught a lot of kids over our span of our career, but some of them ended up becoming Sith Lords, and it hurts us
Yeah, like
because
some of the people
we taught them right from wrong.
Some of the people that hack our channel right now, like, they used to say to us, like, oh, you know, you helped me on the right track because I was, you know, like, I didn't know what to think because I had a hard time in school, and like, kids would tell us, like, thank you for being there every day because I watched you guys every day, and then years later they just started attacking us.
They turned into Syndrome.
But, I mean, you know, it's...
Oh, wow, that was...
You know, that wasn't all of them, it's just a few people. I'm glad that we...
About 500 unhinged people.
I'm glad that we have people like, you know, people like you, Geo, that are so sweet and kind, and, you know, like, of course, like, we care about you guys. We don't, I mean, it's like, if I just think of it like this, if I ever got into a difficult situation as a teenager or an adult, and I realized, like, oh, this is a bad thing to do, I have to remind people not to do this, and there's, like, somebody younger than me watching, it would be good for me to say something like, oh, just make sure you guys really, you know, be careful when giving your information to strangers online, because, you know, you want to be safe. Like, I explain it, so, because I would wish somebody would have explained that to me. Like, I was just thinking about something today where nobody explained it to me, and I was such an idiot, I didn't know.
Well, I mean, you didn't have... During the 80s, like, our government actually thought it was a good idea to include PSAs to help kids, like, know that drugs are bad and don't talk to strangers and don't eat strange candy, all that other stuff. There was this huge coalition of advertising agencies that actually focused on teaching children in between their cartoon shows what right and wrong was. And then by the 90s, after Saved by the Bell and stuff, they got rid of it.
Yeah.
And so you had the late 90s, you had the 2000s, you had the, you know, there's been like basically 3 generations of people that haven't had like anyone telling them what's right and wrong anymore. Right and wrong is subjective. Whereas before there was a clear line in the sand, don't steal, don't murder, don't, like, you know, push a blind kid. All this stuff was...
Oh my god.
Oh yeah! You know?
But yeah,
don't
like,
talk to strangers, don't do drugs.
Yeah, that was something I remember that I learned a lot in everywhere we went was don't talk to strangers. They should really include, like, don't talk to strangers online. Like, I think if you're with your parents and you're at a grocery store, you can say hi to strangers as long as you're not, like... But, like, if you're in a playground all by yourself and a stranger literally walks up to you alone and you have no one around there, yeah, I wouldn't talk. I would get out of there, like, you know... As long as you're around other people, like, and you're safe, you can talk to people, but yeah, like, I just...
Ow.
I don't know, I was just thinking, I mean, it's such a stupid thing. I can't think of anything I didn't know when there was a lot of stuff I didn't know when I was a kid, but I was just thinking about when I was younger, I took my driving test, they taught me how to drive, right? course, I lived in such a rural area that there was hardly any cars on the road, mainly tractors. The speed limit was like 5 miles an hour. So when I got my license, you know, I didn't really know much about driving or anything, you know, I didn't know what would happen if, like, for instance, a police car pulled me over for, like, speeding. So I think the first time I actually got pulled over for something, I didn't know I was supposed to stop. Like, nobody told me. I didn't know how people got pulled over.
Oh my god.
So, like, nobody explained that to me. I don't know why they didn't explain that to me on my driver's test. Or, no, I don't remember my parents ever telling me, like, if the lights are behind you, you're supposed to pull over. Like, I never remember anyone telling me that. It's just, like, stuff like this that you actually have to know to, like, live in society, but sometimes people just don't tell you. Like, what happens if there's no one to tell you? So that's why sometimes I say stuff, because it's like, well, what if somebody didn't tell somebody? Like, maybe there's one person, you know, out of 100 people watching, maybe one person needs to know this. That's what I do it sometimes.
It's fine.
I don't know. I don't remember what exactly happened to me at that point. I think, like, people, I don't know, maybe I got in trouble, but I don't know.
Well, I'm cheesy, and I'm still, you know, the morals and the values that defined our society for 50 years, I still adhere to that. So, even if it comes across as, like, you know, sly jokes and puns and stuff, I'm gonna still continue to teach people right from wrong.
Yeah, but it also is good to tell people that Twitter isn't what reality is. Like, there's a Twitter and then there's reality. Many people would get confused because it seems on Twitter like it's the end all. Like, PETA's saying, oh my gosh, you know, Mario hates Tanukis and they hate cats because they're wearing their fur on Mario 3D or whatever. And then you might start to think that Nintendo hates animals, but in reality, that's just Twitter saying that. That's not the actual reality.
Yay!
You know? So it is good to sometimes to explain, like, Twitter and reality are two different things.
I destroyed you.
Just because someone says it online doesn't mean it's true.
Zim is fun.
Yeah, he does look fun.
He is fun to play. He's got a well-versed, like, robust list of moves. I like him a lot better than how he was in the first game. Like, I don't even think I played as Zim a lot in the first game, but I love his moveset. His recovery is pretty decent, too.
Alright, Sesame Street was good with PSA announcements, Brandon, definitely.
So they stopped doing it.
I've always wondered why we don't see any PSA commercials on TV anymore, says Daniel.
Because you have a coalition of people now that are like the counterculture that are like, you know, we shouldn't have people telling our kids what to do because kids can basically raise themselves.
But what about me with the whole thing where I didn't know about being pulled over? I would have need to know that.
They have this...
There's some things where you would need to know. Like, what if nobody tells you?
Right. They have this idea in their mind that kids today, because of technology, are smarter than the kids from the 80s and 90s that basically, you know, had little television programs like interject like certain morality and stuff. They don't believe in that because they believe that if kids really want to learn this stuff, they can look it up on their smartphone.
But that's not true. Kids aren't going to be looking up safety things and rules of the road on their phone. They're going to be looking up the newest TikTok trends.
Right.
Kids aren't going to take the time to look up information about safety on their phone.
It basically comes down to adults today don't want to be responsible for anything. Like, they just want to make their entertainment, they want to make their art, and they don't care who they hurt or, you know, who they offend. They just want to make their stuff. Or they want to change other people's stuff. Whereas before, what made the 80s and 90s such a unique time is these people that got into children's programming and worked on things like Mr. Rogers' Show or Sesame Street, they ended up becoming like executives that started their own like cartoon companies. Like, think about the people responsible for He-Man and all that other stuff. They got their start working with like children's television shows in the 60s, and then they evolved to making their own studio. And then they, you know, were like, hey, we're going to use superheroes, or we're going to use fantasy elements, and we're going to do all this other stuff to teach kids moral lessons while still making a cool show about superheroes and skeletons and all this other stuff. If you go back and you watch He-Man, for instance, He-Man was a sci-fi epic, but every single episode, not just the PSA at the end, every episode was tailored to a moral lesson throughout the 200 episodes of that show. It was written into the narrative.
I really like also when something happens in an episode of a cartoon and then they take like something that happened in the cartoon and explain why, like where this person went wrong. Like say a little kid, you know, lies to their mom when they're out and they're like, I don't, like where were you? It's like, I went to get, you know, ice cream, but in reality they climbed into a supervillain's den and were looking around. Then they got into major trouble and they almost died, and then the hero had to rescue them. Then at the end of the episode they would be like, remember, you should always tell the truth, especially to your parents because they care about you. Don't lie just because you're scared. Make sure that you tell them the truth so that they can help you. So I thought, like, well, that's kind of like, I'm just using an example like of something. Can't think of where I saw that, but there was something like that one time that I saw. But yeah, like where they would actually explain, like, if you were this kid in the cartoon, this is what you should have done. Like, you should have told the truth even though you were scared. You should have told them because that would have helped you out so you wouldn't get into really bad trouble.
Yep.
So I liked that when they used to do
by
that.
like, I would say by like 1991, there was kind of a shift where they stopped doing that. Like, they still had PSAs at the end of the show a little bit, but like the idea of storytelling that kind of was like life lessons for kids, like kind of phased out because there was like a whole new television group that formed. I don't remember its name, but like you saw less of like family entertainment and people were moving toward more like live action stuff. Like they were going away from cartoons, and then that gave birth to things like, you know, Power Rangers and all this other stuff. And Power Rangers did have moral lessons because what people don't remember is some of the people who were responsible for Power Rangers, like the Saban brand, they actually worked on things like Robotech and like Jason the Wheeled Warriors and some of these like really high profile 80s cartoon shows. So it was important for them, at least in the first and second season, that they incorporated some, like, I think it was called like Morphing Says, or there was some type of like thing during the first or second season where they did have like Power Ranger Says or something where they talked about, you know, stuff. The actors would either show up in costume or they would be like themselves and they would say, you know, don't do this, don't do that. And, you know, people in the 90s thought it was kind of cheesy because they were the only ones still doing it, when that had already kind of phased out from, like, 1980 until, like, 1989.
It was probably still helping some people, to be completely honest.
And even if it's, what I think people don't understand is, even if it's seen as a little cringy and cheesy, the moral lessons are still important.
Yeah, like, even if you're telling kids, like, you know, you may end up in a dangerous situation like this person. Like, you're not really going to find a super villain's lair, but you could get into something else very dangerous. There are dangerous places where you could end up, like at night or something in a big city. So in reality, yeah, you might not end up like the cartoon character, but, yeah, exactly. Like, it may seem cheesy, but, you know, it may come to you at some point. Like, I remember there was a guy, and I mean, I don't remember what it was about, but somebody was asking somebody a question, and it was like, they were in an interview with CNN, and the question was like something about, you know, like, why can't you, you know, get all these people's information, and, you know, why do you refuse to use it? And, or they were angry at them that they weren't playing ball, and they were like, well, I don't want to be a supervillain. Like, they actually answered the question as if they were a little kid, like they remembered a lesson they learned from a cartoon. Like, you seem like a supervillain talking to me right now. I thought it was Elon Musk who said that to the CNN guy, because he was asking him some pretty weird questions, like telling him to take people's information and stuff like this. And Elon Musk was like, that kind of sounds like what a supervillain would do. And I thought, my gosh, I bet he saw a PSA announcement when he was a kid or something about that. I don't know.
I mean, it was everywhere.
It's kind of interesting because you think that you wouldn't remember that, but even as an adult, you would literally remember something that happened. Like where Skeletor tried to get you to lie or something, and you realize, oh my gosh, this is happening in real life to me right now. Like, this person is trying to get me to lie. Yeah.
Yep. I wish that it'd be possible to create stuff like that again, but like like I said, it comes down to responsibility of adults don't want to be responsible for other people. Like, they just want to be responsible for their own family, and, you know, they think that someone else's responsibility for, you know, helping the youth is someone else's thing. It's not, they're not supposed to do anything. They're not supposed to help with knowledge and things like that.
But if adults aren't supposed to help, then who is? Nobody else is here. The plants aren't going to tell kids what to do. There are only animals, plants, and adult humans to tell kids what to do. There's only one of those categories that can help kids figure out what to do. Literally, the plants and animals aren't going to tell us what to do.
Don't pull a cat's tail. It will scratch you. Don't put your hand on a stove when it's hot. It will burn you.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, though, Daniel. So it's like, yeah, what you guys are saying is pretty smart, but actually this should be, like, common knowledge by now.
Common knowledge is common knowledge and common sense are kind of losing out because what's happening, especially during the pandemic, when everybody was so self-absorbed with their own lives and like cut off from society, then people became very selfish, and it became like, we used to joke around in the 90s that the 90s was kind of like the me generation, like I'm important, me. But in reality, the current generation is the person that is so obsessed with their own identity, with their own life, with their own choices, that they're just like, they can't see past that. Like, everything revolves around them, even when it doesn't. So they're easily offended, they're easily angered, they're very emotional, and they just can't see past their own ego, basically.
Yeah, it's like, that's what I really feel like I don't like about adults that spend their time arguing on Twitter, is because, or like, they're always like expecting people to understand their needs. Like, they do rant articles online saying like, these people haven't treated me right at work and all this stuff, which is fine. Like, I understand that. Like, you can stand up for yourself. Yeah, it is important, but also like,
I'm tiny.
But in addition to like your own needs and your own rights, like, adults should really be worrying about the younger generation and what they owe kids, you know?
Well, we're supposed to be role models. You're supposed to, like...
It's like, yes, you have your own problems, but at the same time, kids have it even harder right now. You really need to, you know, you have more responsibility than just yourself. You also need to explain to kids how they're gonna grow up in this world.
That's why, like, Asia gets it. Like, Asia has, like, this chain of command that's respect. Like, kids today don't respect adults. They don't respect authority. They, like... Not you guys, I mean, we raised you guys right, but, like, we raised our fan base of, like, 500,000 people, for the most part, like, they turned out to be good people in society. So, you know, I'm very proud of that. Out of all the things that I've done, like, that's what I'm most proud of, is that, you know, Amber and I passed on our philosophy and, you know, our niceness to probably millions of people, at least we hope so, because we've been around a long time. But in Japan, like, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but there is a respect that children and other people have for adults, where they, like, you know, really see, like, the older generation as someone to aspire to be. Like, they're also, even if they don't agree with them and they're going through their teenage phases, they're still very kind to people who are older than them and treat them with a little bit of respect. That doesn't happen in this country. Like, you know, I've literally seen teenagers punch elderly people. You know, they don't care what the elderly have to say. They call them boomers, or they insult them, and, you know, they don't care about their life experiences. Only what the teenagers are experiencing now is the only thing that matters. In Japan, you won't have a bunch of people gang up and beat up an elderly person. They'll walk them to the bus stop, or they might actually sit down and eat ramen with them and kind of hear what their life experience was, what it was like when they were a teenager, what makes it different. You know, kind of learn from history so you're not doomed to repeat it. That's the mentality that they have over in Asia, where they're very kind and respectful to the people that are older than them, you know, because they want to grow up to be good, outstanding, law-abiding citizens themselves, you know, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, also, like, it's like in today's world, people are like, oh, well, why would I care if I'm a law-abiding, normal citizen? Like, I think that's one huge thing, but actually, I mean, like, they're like, well, I can just live my life however I want, but you can, but the problem is then you'll end up getting into trouble, like, if you do that. Like, you think that it won't affect you, but eventually, like, that's why you have, you know, cartoons and superheroes like Spider-Man, Peter Parker, Miles Morales, all these people trying to explain, like, what happens, like, the supervillains they fight, those people are people that, like, made bad decisions when they were, at one point, and then it just got worse and worse, and then to the point where they became, crazy supervillains. But it's supposed to be, like, obviously we don't see people with, like, weird, toxic, goo in them with superpowers, threatening cities and destroying whole blocks. But in reality, people that keep making bad decisions like that, they do end up in really bad trouble eventually. Like, they, like, ruin their life, like, because
it's karma.
Because they just keep making bad decisions. That's a problem.
And also, one thing that I will gladly pass on to people, just because something is not impacting you, and you think, oh, this doesn't bother me, you have to remember that there's someone younger who may be watching you that you're not aware of, and they see your behavior, and then they're like, oh, okay, this older person did this, and, it looks like when I get older I could do this, or maybe I can do that. If this person didn't get in trouble, or they caused a big deal, or they spit on a police officer, I can do worse. I can run them over with my car. There's this kind of slippery slope that happens. Like, the more younger people see bad behavior, then the behavior doesn't necessarily curve, it gets worse. It's like a slide that continually goes down. Like, it has no stops in it. It just, it just gets worse and worse. And then people are like, I don't understand what happened. It's like, well, I mean, this correlated with this, and then it just kept going down and down and down and down. And it wasn't like a roller coaster going back up.
Yeah, but also you can always change, though. Like, at any point in your life, like, if
of course
you
can
made bad
change.
decisions, you can always change.
There has to be a will to change, though.
Yeah,
like, right now...
to decide to change.
Right now, with Disney doesn't understand why people are, like, not supporting Captain Marvel. It has the worst opening of the MCU in its history. Like, no longer are people just being quiet and consuming product. They're kind of like, hey, what's going on? What's the content of this movie? And the movie actually, in that regard, it doesn't follow the same patterns as other Disney movies that made a bunch of noise. But the audience is kind of, like, waning with that, and they're like, wait a second, like, is this movie going to be exactly like the first Captain Marvel? Because I don't want to get preached to. I just want to go see a superhero film. So
it's like if you cry wolf so many times, then people won't listen.
It is kind of like crying wolf, but
like,
also
you keep saying, like, oh, you don't care about, like, women superheroes, and yelling at people over and over again, to the point where now people just don't care. They just assume that's what they're going to say in the movie. So even if you have the greatest movie ever, no one's going to see it at this
right.
point.
You develop a reputation, and it's very hard for you to distance yourself from the reputation that you created, because the audience is expecting the movie to be exactly how the previous film was, which was very preachy and in your face and things like that. And when you don't go out of your way to be like, hey, this new movie is not going to focus on that other stuff, but the marketing says opposite, because you're trying to still, tell the people that enjoyed that movie, hey, this is what you can expect from our Marvel movies. The general audience is like, wait a second, I don't really feel like I'm having a good day today. I really don't want to go to a movie theater and have Brie Larson, like, preach to me about the patriarchy or whatever it is she's going to talk about. I just want to see Captain Marvel, like, punch an alien or something. But I don't think that I can do that, so I'm just going to rewatch, something from 10 years ago that had a cool Captain Marvel anime or something,
Yeah.
And you develop this brand reputation, and then it's like, I don't know if you remember the Simpsons principal, but there were a bunch of kids causing crime, and then there's, like, this meme where the principal's like, I'm not responsible for these bad students. They're just bad, or something like that. They're to blame. So it's like Disney and DC Comics and all these other people in Marvel, they've kind of become Principal Skinner in the mentality that nothing they do, they see as something they failed at or messed up. It's the audience's fault. It's the fans' fault. It's not their fault. They didn't do anything that might have, put them in this situation with their films and caused, like, kind of like an abandonment. They're Principal Skinner.
Yeah, actually, did you know, like, in some cultures, like, I know in ancient Greek culture, like, if you were going to be a writer or an actor for a play in which you would perform stories for people in front of people. You had to be seen as like a morally good person. Like, they wouldn't even allow you to be in the play unless they could see that you were morally good. Like, they would have some kind of, like, test or something. So, like, it's kind of interesting today that all of our actors and a lot of the writers are kind of, like, in their real life, they're not good people. Like, they've done bad things and, you know, they've left their families alone. Or they've, you know, hurt people, or they've, you know, or they've argued with children online on their social media. And like in ancient times, those people wouldn't be allowed to be writers and actors because actually in certain cultures in ancient times, actors, the stories were not just stories. They were stories to help people learn morality, to help people understand what's right and what's wrong.
It was what people don't understand. Comic books and movies were kind of like our country's mythology, because our country's not that old. Like, we're going on 300 years old as a country, so we don't have like, you know, Greek gods and Roman gods and Egyptian gods. Like, superheroes was kind of like our own like country's mythology in a sense, like taking like the basically vigilante, you know, aspect of the Wild West and incorporating it into a being that has superpowers that's trying to do the right thing. That was our way of like giving the world our own type of mythology. Like, these are our super thingies that kind of help with our society, help with like, you know, teaching kids right from wrong, and you know, implementing important life lessons like with fictional characters and stuff like that, which is basically what, if you really think about it, what Greek mythology and Roman mythology was all about. You know, they were these fantastic super beings that incorporated important life lessons.
Well, think about like the Trials of Hercules. I was just watching something about that. The guy literally has people be mean to him from day one because they're jealous of him for his superpowers. So he has all these horrible trials he has to do. He has to clean these horrible things that have never been cleaned for like 50 and 100 years that have all these cows in it. He has to defeat the Chimera. He has to do all this stuff, and every time they never release him from his debt that he has to do. But in the end, he keeps doing what he's asked, and in the end, he is rewarded for it. So it's kind of like supposed to be teaching you that even though life isn't fair, you just have to keep going, and you'll be eventually rewarded. But like that, even a lot of ancient stories like that had a moral lesson to them at the end. People don't realize that, but you know, the best stories have a moral lesson about, you know, what will help you in life. So yeah, I mean, like, people really should, like, instead of just being like, well, you know, I'm gonna make the character whatever I want. I'm gonna make Gwen Stacy do whatever I want. If I want Gwen Stacy to, you know, like quit her job and yell at her boss and, you know, kick a kitten, I'm gonna have her do that because she can do whatever she wants. You really can't do that because, you know, you're supposed to be helping people, teach them the right thing to do. You know, if she's supposed to be a hero, then she needs to do heroic things. So yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. That was a fun discussion.
Anyways, yeah, I don't know. So what are you looking forward to in the Indie Direct, Luke? Anything or?
I mean, the only real indie games that this year were interesting for me was Sea of Stars. I mean, I want to get back to it, but it's like, recording early in the morning is the only time we have available because of how much we're constantly working, and like the past couple days I've just been too exhausted to record. Like, it's bothersome to me because I love recording that game with you. I think it's a really fun game. I like the RPG. It makes me remember classics like Chrono Trigger. It's got some Super Mario RPG aspects in it. And I believe it's nominated for Best Indie Game of the Year. Like, I think Sea of Stars is nominated, if I'm not mistaken. Or at least, I was on their Twitter, and I believe they got a nomination for it. So, I mean, indie games are always a mixed bag for me. Like, I think it was last year's Indie Showcase around this time. Nintendo didn't really show me anything that wowed me, that made me, like, kind of excited. Like, okay, here's where we're going with the indie stuff. So tomorrow, I mean, honestly, most of the games that I've heard that are in it, I don't really have any say on it because I don't know anything about them.
I'm just excited for Mario RPG whenever that's coming out.
That, we're going to be looking at that Thursday morning.
And then I'm excited for the new League of Legends story mode thing.
That's not indie, though.
I know, but I'm just telling you the games I'm looking
Yep, and I'm looking forward to Persona Tactics because it's a T-rated game that is going to bring a lot of anime fans to the channel.
So you may be doing more than one stream of that.
I will be doing more. I'm going to be doing just like what I did with Spider-Man. We're going to do a majority of the Mario RPG because I think that's the bigger game. And we're going to do at least 1 or 2 streams a day of Persona. But Mario is going to be the big focus because I really believe that Mario RPG is the biggest game releasing this month. Like, bar none. Yep. And I think my biggest regret this year for a game that we covered was the Final Fantasy 16 was a big regret for me, and also I really thought Starfield was going to be big, and Starfield and Final Fantasy 16 had really fast drop-offs. Like, they just did not meet anybody's expectations. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I don't believe Starfield is being nominated at all.
Oh my gosh.
But a really good game that also is not being nominated because it's like... What I don't like about game journalism today is if a game is like just panned and doesn't do well, even if like people love the game, they tend to take a game that people really enjoyed that came out that should have gotten Game of the Year nominated for it, and they remove that game because they feel bad of getting rid of a game that basically hit all the modern, checkboxes, but didn't meet expectations. So because Starfield was pulled from nominations, they also got rid of Hogwarts Legacy. Even though Hogwarts Legacy was a much superior game, and it was made by Avalanche, the people who did Disney Infinity.
Right.
Because of, the fact that they had to get rid of Starfield, which Starfield catered to people on Twitter more than it did gamers, then they have to punish another game that gamers loved and also was a very well-made game, which was Hogwarts. So they have to take that out of the running too. So that leaves Super Mario Wonder, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, not Hogwarts, not Starfield. I don't think Final Fantasy 16 is nominated either. I can't really remember any of the other big ones. Spider-Man. Spider-Man is the other big one. And I think there was like 2 more. And the other 2 don't really deserve those spots. But I can't remember what they are.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I agree. I mean, I actually feel scared to agree with you because everyone...
Oh, yeah. Sorry. RE4 and Baldur's Gate. Thank you, Jotaro. Jotaro.
I didn't even know that Gwen Stacy went on a rampage in real life.
Yeah, both Mary Jane and Gwen Stacy have gone on comic book rants attacking both the patriarchy and all kinds of stuff. Like, there was a really heartfelt comic book where Peter was desperately trying to get back to his girlfriend Mary Jane, who was stranded in this evil world, and he was fighting the Marvel Universe to get back to her. And then she ends up basically settling for a dude who has, like, Twitter ideology. And, like, he's better for her than Peter because he's more into his emotions and, like, he's more, like, society-driven than Peter is. Peter is a guy who wants to be a family man and, but family man is considered toxic male now, so everybody has to be more like the wimpy guy instead of the superhero, is what that comic book shows, and Mary Jane is willing to die for this Paul character over Peter. It's just really weird. Because
it's pretty messed up.
Right, they just can't have Peter Parker be happy, get married, and have a baby without, there's an exception, without them making it an Elseworld storyline. So the main canon Peter Parker can't be happy and have spider babies, but some Elseworlds Peter Parker that was already married and gets his spider powers in his 30s instead of when he's a teenager, that's okay because it's already established that in this universe he has a wife and kids. So they can basically do the Jonathan Kent, Superman and Lois thing, but with spider babies that may or may not have powers, like two twins, a boy and a girl. Because they're already established. But they can't actually go through the motions and be like, alright, we're going to have, just like what we did in the 80s, we're going to have Peter and Mary Jane get married, and then we're going to start to incorporate stuff, but then we're going to start, like, cycling back because maybe it wasn't the right decision to make Peter happy. That's what their original mentality was. That's why they had the one more day thing.
Who's writing these stories?
Who's writing these stories? Crazy people?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to talk about it that much, sweetheart.
That's
I'm
fine.
gonna go and get my cat food.
That's fine.
I don't want to talk about it because I just feel depressing
Sorry, I'm playing as Jimmy Neutron superhero, so it
Yeah.
makes me think about superhero stuff.
I don't know if I mean, yeah, people were asking about Hogwarts. Yeah, I mean, like, I think it was a very well-made game, so I don't really understand. But I guess because of ideological differences between Twitter and the game, or because between Twitter and the author of the Harry Potter books, then the people, literally, even though she's not even involved in making a game whatsoever, somehow because it is attached to Harry Potter, I mean, they went their own direction. It's part of their world.
I would say it's more connected to Fantastic Beasts than it is Harry Potter, because it takes place before the Fantastic Beasts movies, is what people keep telling me.
Yeah.
It's in that world, but many
I thought she
centuries
wrote
before.
the Fantastic Beasts also, those books.
I don't know.
She's written a lot. I mean, not to be that person, but I didn't know this, but that woman, which I won't say her name, but apparently she had a lot of horrible things happen to her in her life. She actually had a time in her life where she didn't want to go on, and her husband divorced her. She had no money. She almost was homeless at one point. Then she started writing these stories, and her life started turning around. It's just kind of interesting. You just never even know what's going to happen with your life.
Sometimes your life experiences and things that, seem like they were soul-crushing at the time, like, they translate well into fictional stories and worlds that you can create that not only help you get through your depression, but also, like, help you pull your life out of the gutter, and you're like, hey, because of this, this story, maybe one person or maybe 100 people will relate to this, and, we can create our own, like, fantasy thing. That's how a lot of writers did stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing that somebody who would think that of giving up on life and had nothing to their name would actually end up becoming, like, almost like a millionaire or billionaire writer.
That's why art is so interesting, and why art, like, as a medium, it just has so many layers to it. And video games is a part of art. Like, it really is artistic expression,
Yeah, it is, because you got the story. I mean, it's really, like, it's an interactive art experience.
Which is why I like it more than... People ask me all the time, it's like, do you like movies? It's like, I don't mind movies. Sometimes I like to just shut off my brain and watch a cool story, but at the same time, I like the interactive aspect of video games, because there are some games where I can actually dictate the choices that my character will make. Like, I'm always fully in control of how my gameplay is. Like, I can have my character... If I want my character to run around in circles in a very serious game to get a laugh from my audience, I'm going to have a character run around in circles, If I want to jump off a building randomly, I can do it.
Yeah, I also like in video games how you can kind of relate to the character, because I'm playing that Mineko's Night Market right now, and she's so shy, and she's new in town, and it's hard for her to make friends. And this one boy comes up to her and is like, let's be friends, and she's like, okay, because she doesn't have any friends. It's so relatable, though, because it's like, I was like, wow, this is extremely relatable for me. Someone being painfully shy in school. Like, I would completely have the same reaction. Like, if someone came up to me and was like, let's be friends, I'd be like, alright, let's do it. Because, like, you need friends. Like, you're not even going to ask questions at this point. There's somebody who wants to be your friend, you're going to be their friend. It's not that hard. I don't know, I just like how you can relate to the characters, because you feel like you are that character for a minute. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Just like being a superhero, that's why superhero games are so cool, is like, for that moment, while you're playing the game, you are that superhero. Like, you are, like, when the Wolverine game comes out, it's like, you are Wolverine.
You are the person
You
cutting
do
people
have
open.
claws. Like, you might not have claws when you walk outside, but when you have put your fingers on the controller, you randomly have claws coming out of your hands for a minute. It's kind of cool.
Yep. It is very interesting. Alright, Sweet Pea. Alright, guys, so we continue the Jimmy Neutron stuff. Doing the Flying Dutchman against Jimmy Neutron. So I don't think Jimmy has continued yet. Jimmy's moveset is interesting. I think it lives up to expectations, because fans really wanted Jimmy to be in the game. And it has a lot of throwbacks to... I saw him in his little... I'm not going to say clown car, but his flying saucer vehicle, which you guys are probably more familiar with, because I didn't really watch a lot of Jimmy Neutron. I was working. But they've got his superhero suit. They got some of his gadgets. I saw his ray gun thing. flying saucer ability. I saw a jetpack for Jimmy. So it's like, I really appreciate what the developer is doing with these Nickelodeon characters. Like, everyone has a favorite Nickelodeon Nicktoon character, right? So for you, playing as your favorite character, from what I'm seeing, every character has been given a labor of love compared to the first game. And I think that's really cool. I really do. Plus, the gameplay is good. If you're, playing on PS5 or Xbox, there's really no frame rate interruptions at all. It's smooth sailing throughout. But if you're playing on Nintendo Switch, well, that's another story. Alright, so we're gonna fight Dutchman Ghost versus Neutron. Yeah, and if you're wondering, why didn't you watch a lot of Nicktoons in the 2000s, I was a working man. So I was working. Between working at a radio station, security job, working at a golf course, doing maintenance at a school, all kinds of stuff. I was always working because my passion was video games. So I would actually use my paycheck to pick up a new game, and I tried to make it most of my jobs, my only day off was Sunday. I'd go to church and I would, not work. Because I didn't believe in working on Sunday. So that was, my only day, really, where I could actually have, some time to myself. And then early Monday morning, I would work again. I think I would work at, starting at 8 in the morning or something like that. So my days off were only really Sunday, which a lot of retail places hated. But back then, haha, you could use the religion card and be like, well, I'm sorry, this goes against my religion, so I can't work on Sunday, and they would have to abide by that. Today, I don't know how much that flies because of stuff, but back then, you used to be able to be like, okay, I can't do this day, and either they would, give you kind of the lazy eye and be like, okay, well, I see, and they would try to be like, hey, you're not going to make as much money if you don't work Sunday, because you're not going to get time and a half or whatever, but they couldn't really fire you. Since I'm not in the private sector anymore, I don't really know how much the law has changed, or if people still, retailers or people still abide by that. But in the 2000s, we could get away with it. But anyway, so Sunday and Wednesdays were, my real big days off. And whenever I got the chance, on the way home from work, if Blockbuster was still open, because they would be open till at least midnight, I would pick up a game to play on my PS2 or my GameCube. They used to do Game Boy Advance games, but because those things were so portable and they were smaller, believe it or not, Blockbuster actually had a problem with people stealing Game Boy Advance games because of how small the things were. People could literally just pocket it and that would be it. And they didn't really have a lot of security cameras back then, so there was a high theft on Game Boy and Game Boy Advance stuff back in the day. I know because I did work at Blockbuster for a little bit. Basically I had a friend of mine who was like, you're here all the time. If you work here, you can get the sick employees discount. And I was like, I think you've sold me on this. And he's like, yeah, we're not even going to bother with you won't even have to do an interview process. Just come in tomorrow. I already put you on the schedule. I was like, oh. And it wasn't really that big of a deal working for a friend, at Blockbuster. That wasn't a problem. I didn't do it very long, though, because between you and me, the employee discount wasn't very good anyway. So, I mean, he was trying to sell it. I was going to save all this money on, renting games and stuff like that. Because I was always coming in, late Saturday night after work to rent some stuff. And I was in the process of looking for another job anyway, so it just worked out, and it worked with my schedule. But, I mean, the pay wasn't very good. The work environment was fine. People at Blockbuster were actually really nice. They had, a really cool work environment there. And it was... You did get to watch movies in the background, and it's not like people were always there. The high peak hours for people coming to the store for Blockbuster was, anywhere between... I want to say maybe 3 o'clock to 9 sometimes. During the day, which is when I did work, the 8 o'clock to 1 p.m. it's pretty much not much going on. So they were pretty lax about what they would let you do. You couldn't actually go and play the video games, though, because you needed to be behind the counter. Usually, like, you know, putting stuff back on the shelves and stuff like that. But they would let us, corporate would let us put on a movie. So you did get free movies in a sense. At least it would be on in the background. So that was cool. But I think I only worked for Blockbuster for about, like, 2 months. I got a better deal, like, somewhere else, like, with a higher paying job. And, again, the employee discount wasn't that good. But I did have fun working there. I worked a lot of places to get as much experience as possible. I was like a jack of all trades when it came to work, but also I got really bored with certain jobs, so I was always, like, changing jobs quite a bit. I got such a reputation in the town that Amber and I came from that I actually had to get work outside the town eventually, because a lot of people wouldn't hire me because they didn't see me as, like, what's the word I'm looking for? As someone who was going to stick around a lot, you know, because I was always, like, trying to find that job that worked with me. And I never actually got rid of all my jobs. Like, I still worked the radio, so I was still doing, like, the radio DJ thing on the side. And I was still working college maintenance and stuff like that. But, like, some of the other side jobs for side income so I could buy video games and other stuff just wasn't working out with some of the other places. So I was always looking for a third job. And sometimes, you know, I ended up getting lucky, and other times, not so much. But Blockbuster was cool. I wish that company lasted a long time. The problem is, what people don't understand, streaming services is what put basically put Blockbuster out of business, and those, like, direct-to-DVD mailing places, like places like GameFly and Redbox and other places, they kind of made Blockbuster obsolete. And then with the rise of streaming services, you know, what was the point? What I never understood is why Blockbuster didn't try to do the Netflix thing, because Netflix was a mail service. Like, it was not a streaming service first. A lot of people forget this, but Netflix, you actually used to go to their website in the 2000s, and you would have the DVDs delivered to your house. It was basically like the GameFly version of DVDs, pretty much. And then Netflix made the jump to streaming, and they blew up. Like, even more. So, I always wondered, hey, why didn't Blockbuster go the streaming route? Like, you know, Blockbuster had the name recognition of, like, watching movies, and Netflix had, like, a really cool name, Netflix. You know, you're watching stuff that comes directly to you or whatever. It was brilliant marketing. So, but Blockbuster had the brand recognition, and it just kind of disappeared by, like, I think Blockbuster went out of business, like, by 2008, I think, is the last time Blockbuster kind of just whatever. Because I remember Amber and I picked up a poster, or a beautiful piece of Star Wars art of the original trilogy that was hand-painted and was selling at a Blockbuster. And when that Blockbuster went out of business, they clearanced it because nobody wanted it. So Amber and I went and we bought it. And we still have it. It's hanging up in our house somewhere. Honey, are you still home? Oh, okay. Sorry. No, I know. I just felt your presence and didn't know if I was, you know, weird. Okay. No, you're fine. Actually, I think you guys have seen that Star Wars picture. It's hanging up in our house. It was even in a vlog we had.
Prepare for launch.
Mwahahaha. Jimmy Neutron versus Vlad. Maybe, yeah. If you want to. If not, I got it. I have no idea. That I can't tell you. Your app only shows the last 2 days, though. Yeah. Uh-oh, watch out, Jimmy! Jimmy, no! Jimmy, why? Did Jimmy continue yet? He might have. Oh. Boy, genius!
Hink, hink.
Oh, he hits people with his rocket. That's clever. Is that my first time seeing that?
Let you defeat me.
Might be. Ah! That's fine, Amps. Yeah, like I said, they're supposed to, like, employers are supposed to respect that. But, I mean, I guess they're shying away from that, even though I think it's US law. Ah, no S rank for Jimmy. Yep, of course. Alright, so Jimmy's done. So that was the year 2000 and what, 4? Where are we now? Oh, My Life as a Teenage Robot has an interesting logo. I almost skipped it. So, Jenny is next. We're going in order if you guys are just joining. So we've done Plankton, who people are still unsure of if he appeared in the year 2000 or year 1999 in SpongeBob. I think it was 2000, but I could be wrong. Then we did Invader Zim, 2001, Jimmy Neutron, 2002. Next will be Jenny, then Danny Phantom characters, and then tomorrow will be Avatar. Because Avatar came out in 2005? Wow. Wow. So Avatar is 2005. El Tigre is 2007. Did not last very long. Kung Fu Panda. Oh gosh. I mean, you could get basic essentials. Yeah. I know. Nope. I don't mean anything. Alright, so Jenny is next. And we're going to do things different. We're going to give Jenny her, like, hot rod paint job. 17th or 18th? 13th. Yeah, it's tight, honey. So we'll probably get paid Friday, I hope. Yep, love you too. Alright, so Jenny Wakeman. I actually remember the episode where she was like this, where she was the red paint job. So we're gonna do that one, because everybody does the blue. Does the blue. I don't remember this one with the ponytail. Alright. Jenny, fire red, let's go. So Plankton appeared on July 31st, 1999. Interesting. Okay. That's cool. Alright, Jenny Arcade mode, let's go!
2, 1.
Yep, the ponytail is from a specific episode, I know. Just like the red paint job is from a specific episode. Okay, let's go. Doom and gloom. While things go boom in... Oh, wait, no. That's Cartoon Network. Now, personally, I don't like Jenny's moves in this. I like Jenny's moveset in Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 1. She's okay, but I don't really like her that much. There's one move in particular that's kind of dangerous for Jenny. They made some improvements, but How many of you guys actually man Jenny now?
Excuse me.
Anybody, or... I'm just curious. Whoops. I forgot to put a poll up. I need to put a poll up. Most popular, your favorite 2000s Nicktoon. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. No! Uh-oh. Jenny's in trouble. Jenny's in trouble. Walk into this. Falcon Punch!
Finish.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Favorite Nicktoon. Okay, so we've got. What did we kick things off with today? Who was first? Oh, right. I got it. Invader Zim. My life. Is it Life as a Teenage Robot or My Life as a Teenage Robot? My Life as a Teenage Robot? Okay. Alright guys, here's your, this is your my favorite Nicktoons from early 2000s. Your choices are Invader Zim, Jimmy Neutron, My Life as a Teenage Robot, Danny Phantom. Let the voting commence! Power to the people! Remember, this is early 2000s. 2001 through 2004.
I've got some bad news. The party's over.
We'll be doing the mid-2000s tomorrow, which will be basically Avatar, so all three Avatar characters, and El Tigre, and I think one other show was the early 2000s as well. I could be wrong, though. Bam! Oof. Ouch. Oh, why? Oops. Who just went flying? Oh, not me. Not me. Okay. Alright. So Azula's on my team and we're beating up the Avatar. Alright, I got it. Walk into this, Ang. Walk into this, Avatar! Oh, I shoot a missile at people. Some like Mega Man? Yeah, they kind of made her like Mega Man now. Smash Brothers Mega Man. A little bit. Whoops. Wow. Oof. No way he survived that. No way. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Sorry, Ang. Sorry, Ang. Did I see the nominations for Game of the Year? They're not doing Starfield and they're not doing Hogwarts, so my guesses for nominations of Game of the Year would be Spider-Man 2, Tears of the Kingdom, Super Mario Wonder, Baldur's Gate, and Resident Evil 4, maybe? There wasn't a God of War game this year, was there?
2, 1, go!
Am I close on the Game of the Year nominations or no? Wow, I got all 5 of them? Well, I mean, if it's... If I was a betting man, I would say the game that's going to win Game of the Year is either going to be Tears of the Kingdom or Baldur's Gate. I don't think Spider-Man or Mario is going to win. And I don't think Resident Evil 4 is going to win either. So it's going to come down to Tears of the Kingdom, or it's going to come down to Baldur's Gate. And it's possible Baldur's Gate might actually win. I've heard a lot of good things about Baldur's Gate. Yeah, I don't think Mario and Spider-Man are gonna win Game of the Year. I think it'll be close, but I really think it's gonna either be Tears or it's gonna be Baldur's Gate. Because those games made the biggest splash this year. I mean, Tears of the Kingdom sold 19 million copies. Spider-Man sold 5. We don't know how many copies Mario has sold, and Baldur's Gate sold an impressive amount too. But it doesn't necessarily just come down to sales of the game. It also has to do with reception and how long players have been enjoying the game. And Tears of the Kingdom is still popular all these months later, but Baldur's Gate is definitely like the new kid on the block that has just been wowing people left and right and has lived up to the hype. I have not gotten the chance to play it. It's rated M, so I can't cover it on this channel, and I have no way to cover it. But it's a really cool dungeon crawler. And it's really funny, too, from what I hear. Like, they really stepped up their game when it comes to the voice acting. There's a lot of funny elements and breaking of the fourth wall, and it's just an enjoyable experience. The more people keep telling me and gushing over it. And I'm kind of bummed that I missed out on it. I think that's, like, my biggest regret this year is I haven't gotten a chance to play it yet. Like, gaming-wise. My biggest regrets this year are making time for Starfield and Lord of the Rings, and one other game that wasted my time this year. I can't think of it. What was the other game that kind of wasted my time? The Avatar game. The Avatar game wasn't very good this year.
Catch you later.
In fact, I have no regrets for not finishing either Starfield or the Lord of the Rings game. For one, the Lord of the Rings game was a buggy mess, and Starfield was super boring. There's an episode that Amber and I have not posted because we both fell asleep in it, and I've refused to edit it because we're supposed to be talking about the game, and literally, like, both of us, you can hear us snoring in parts of the dialogue, and it's like, the game just kind of kept going while we were out. Like, that's how excited we were for that game. It just was so bland. It was overhyped, I think.
Wonderful weather we're having, huh?
Ready.
Yes!
Yeah, I mean, I slept really good playing Starfield because afterwards I was so bored I just fell asleep. It was the best sleep of my life. And I even did the story for my 01 channel. I just, like, there were parts of the story that I just kind of, like, zoned out of because it was just so, I don't know. And also, one thing I noticed about the story and the side missions is pretty much, I can tell you what the whole game is. You explore a barren planet, you find some rocks, you end up fighting either space pirates, space assassins, space, I already said pirates. Space cult, or rival space colony. No aliens, like, other than, like, non-sentient aliens, I mean. It's not like Destiny where you fight like actually humanoid aliens or alien races. I mean, most of the aliens are just like giant zoo monsters. Or like something out of the, not even like freaky looking aliens from like the Alien movies. It just, I don't know. It more or less it became like No Man's Sky, but a little bit more interesting, but not really. Ah, you guys are having problems with the voting, huh? I'm curious to see how tight it is. Ow. Raphael's beating up on Jenny. Yeah, if I could go back in time this year, I wouldn't have taken the gamble because Starfield was expensive. We did the early access thing, which was like $100, and I didn't get my money back for that. That was a net loss. We didn't receive enough super chats for that series. We never made it back. We're basically like, for us, that was like our Captain Marvel, like the Marvels movie, which is not going to make, you know, Disney any money. We didn't profit off of that at all. Between both channels, that was a commercial flop for us. Like, we made more profit off of replaying a game that was almost a decade old that month than we did looking at Starfield. When we actually had the smart idea to start the road to Super Mario Wonder, you know, covering the new Super Mario Bros. U and Luigi U thing was just like the smartest thing we did. That's why probably next year we're going to do like a Garfield marathon of games to build up hype for the Garfield movie, and maybe we'll pick up some people off the search engine. I don't know. Thankfully, we have 2 new games that we're covering this week, so Persona Tactics and Mario RPG, so things are going to pick up again, because this channel thrives on new content. Why can't Jenny fight the Shredder? Why this guy? Nobody has gotten to fight the Shredder except for a handful of characters. What the heck is that? That's new. Yep, there's Jenny's jetpack. Yeah. No. I don't think so. I don't think so, Ghosty. Oh, the stop sign she pulls up. That's kind of clever. So instead of a bubble, they give her an actual oh, never mind. I hate this. I'm done. Oh, I can't recover. Ugh. Oh! Cheap shot. Long range cheap shot, guy. Come on. No, I don't think so. Come on.
It's around here somewhere.
Okay, I lucked out there. Wait, why isn't it hitting him? No!
It's around here somewhere.
I thought you're supposed to be a nice ghost. Dang!
You can't beat me.
I can't tell if she hit him or not. Her basic smash ability is actually pretty decent. Whoa! Gotcha.
Finish.
Gotcha! Okay, what's going on? Whoa! Really? Interesting. Over Invader Zim, you guys say the best Nicktoons from the early 2000s is Danny Phantom? You guys are people of culture, I agree. The only show out of that group that I actually made time for in my busy work schedule was Danny Phantom. That was the most interesting Nicktoon show at the time. I watched it over watching some Cartoon Network shows when I had time because They were on, new episodes were on around the same time as another show that I was watching on Cartoon Network. I can't remember what it was, though. It would have been 2004. I can't remember. But I know that Danny Phantom had a time slot similar to a famous Cartoon Network show, but I can't remember what it was. And I had to make a choice. Was I going to watch Danny Phantom, or was I going to watch that Cartoon Network show? And most of the time, I ended up watching Danny Phantom because it was more fun. Alright, here we go. Let's fight Grandma. Dun, 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 dun. Oh my god.
Hello, everyone.
You're a bold kid.
Danny Phantom. He's a Phantom. Whoa. Catch you later. Ah! Sorry, Gerald. Oh, Jenny's still going. Grandma's a really fun character to play in this. Wait, they doing her tantrum thing? They incorporated her tantrum and it's like a powerful... Yeah! They did her tantrum, look at that. Cool. I love Danny Phantom. I wouldn't say love, I enjoyed watching it. But I watched it over a certain Cartoon Network show that I can't remember what it was.
3, 2, 1.
I just can't remember when Danny Phantom had his time, like when his new episodes came out. I think it was 4 o'clock, or maybe it was 5. And that would have been right around the time there was a Toonami show, but I can't remember what Toonami show I gave up to watch Danny Phantom. Maybe it was Naruto, I don't know. Can't remember. Or maybe Naruto wasn't until 2006. I can't remember. What shows do I love then? Batman the Animated Series, X-Men the Animated Series, Spider-Man 94, Batman Beyond, Justice League, Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Lab, Freakazoid, Pinky and the Brain, The Tick, from Nickelodeon, probably be Danny Phantom, Fairly Odd Parents. What about Rocket Power? Nope. Don't remember that.
I think it's time to finish this. Take care of this.
I think one of the funniest shows I've ever seen was the Looney Tunes show, where basically they turned the Looney Tunes into a sitcom that was geared more toward adults, and it was basically like Frasier humor, but with Looney Tunes characters. It was really funny. It's like Frasier meets Seinfeld. It got canceled way too soon. It was really well done. One of my favorite episodes is when the turtle is messing with Bugs Bunny about his cable and he's switching it on and off. And Bugs knows that he's switching his cable on and off, but yeah. Also the fact the turtle calls Bugs Mr. Buney. I'm sorry, Mr. Buney. I don't know what's going on with your service. We'll send over a technician in, is Saturday good for you? And Bugs like, yeah, Saturday's great. He's like, great, Saturday next week. But Bugs is like, but the big game's happening. Like the NBA playoffs or whatever. It's the playoffs. And the turtle's like, I'm sorry, we only have next week available, sir. So it's like the trolling. And like the actual relatable stories and things like that. To, you know, what people actually deal with, like trolley cable, bad restaurant food, parking tickets, things like that. It was a very relatable, funny show that it just, I don't know, either it didn't resonate with Cartoon Network fans or It was canceled too soon. It was so well done. I never understood why it got canceled. It actually had high ratings. It actually... I thought it was doing better than Teen Titans Go at one point. But Teen Titans Go got to stay, but the Looney Tunes show didn't. Vlad versus... Alright guys, and the next up is the Danny Phantom characters.
This shouldn't take long.
Have they ever done a documentary why the Looney Tunes show was canceled?
Big move.
They can't make the argument that it didn't sell toys, because they never made toys for it anyway. That's what the nonsense they did for why they canceled the amazing 2011 Thundercats reboot. They're like, oh, it didn't sell enough toys. It was actually doing pretty decent at the ratings, and they still canceled it. It was basically like He-Man 2002 all over again with Thundercats. Great reboot of a classic property that fans loved, had great writing and voice acting, and it was an awesome action-packed series, and then it just gets quietly canceled. That always upset me, because it was like, wow, this is actually kind of a cool Thundercats reboot, or that was a great He-Man 2002 show. But it got canceled because their argument was, it didn't sell enough toys. Oh no! Jenny, what happened? Vlad, how can you make me kill myself? It's your fault. It's not my fault for SDing, it's your fault. Later, Sarah. See you next stream. Yeah.
Your power pales in comparison to mine.
Yeah, I have no idea what you just said. Oof. It's really interesting they made Vlad the villain, though. Maybe you guys can help me out here, but I've noticed that Vlad sounds a lot like a sitcom boss villain. He sounds like Elaine's boss from Seinfeld. Like the really rich billionaire guy that is just like so self-absorbed with himself, and he wastes all this money and always puts Elaine in front of like these big projects at work. And he's like a super idiot, but like he just has that like kind of like nonchalant attitude about life. He's really funny in like not an on purpose way. He sounds like that guy.
I won't let you defeat me. You can't.
Who would I want as a villain instead of Vlad? I think it would have been funny to make Hugh, like Jimmy's dad, the villain. And then we could have had him in the Shadow Realm.
How could I lose when I possess such power?
That sounds like something Vlad would do. Yeah, totally. Alright, so Jimmy won, or Jenny won, and also an A rank. No S ranks tonight at all. No S ranks. It's time for Danny Phantom characters. So we're going to save Danny for last. Let's do Ember, since I'm very familiar with Ember. I actually used Ember to beat a lot of the campaign. She's a really fun character. We're going to go with Pirate Ember. No. Let's see, which one? Do I want all red? Classic Ember. I'm going to go Pirate Ember. It's really hard to get He-Man 2002 on DVD. Very difficult. I think I got He-Man 2012 or 2002 because of buying the 30th anniversary He-Man collection on DVD. I think it includes all of the 2002 show, but I don't know. I don't think I've ever been able to find it on DVD after that. Ember Arcade. He's a phantom. Alright. Okay, let's go. And then we're going to close off with Danny Phantom. Let's see how quickly I do this with Ember.
3,
Ready?
2, 1.
Alright guys, our next live goal is 140. Had her.
Today's our chance to be big shots.
Alright, let's go Ember. Yeah, I love that move. It's a fun move. You know, I hit people with my guitar like an axe. There we go.
Finish.
We'll beat up Rocco. Ember's a fun character to play as. Especially her hard, I don't know what, her hard up. Yeah. That, like, fire thing that she has does a lot of damage. Done.
Finish.
Let's see how quickly we can get through with Ember. Aha! Now, I'm not very good with Danny Phantom.
3, 2, 1.
So, gonna struggle with Danny. I don't know if we're gonna struggle as much with Plankton that we did with Plankton, but yeah, she has a great air recovery move. Oh, you can't go through that? Oh, wow, that's annoying. Okay. Of course, she's voiced by Tara Strong, so... Whoa! Oh, I messed up.
Finish.
Whoopsies! Yeah, let's fight Danny. Let's go! Hi, Danny. Now, when I first played this game, those portals didn't do anything. Like, up until, like, last week, those portals didn't do much. And then I noticed, like, when we were doing the arcade mode, the portals were actually, like, popping you through places. So that's, like, a new update. Because when I looked at the game, like, a day early, it didn't have that. And I ran through all of campaign, and it wasn't doing that. Dun, 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 dun. This might be the closest to have Timmy Turner. I mean, if they can get the rights to Timmy Turner, that's going to be a tough battle for them to do that. Anything is possible. I'd be happy with it. Kaiju battle! Whack. Uh-oh. Wait for it. Yeah, you're done. Goodbye. Oof. Okay. Bye-bye, Reptar. Yeah, see? She has, like, a great moveset. Ember does. She's so much fun to play as. She is so interesting. I don't know, like, what would you guys say that she is closest to moveset-wise for a Smash Brothers character? Who does she model, like... When you see Ember's moveset, what do you think of, like, in terms of Smash Brothers comparison? Who? Especially with her up, her recovery move, her... She can do both, long range and close range attacks. She has projectile attacks, too. So I can hit people with my guitar spirit energy or whatever. Ow. Boom, boom. I don't think a Fire Emblem character when I think of her, though. But it has a familiar moveset, I just don't know what Smash Brothers character. Maybe Roy? Or maybe like a combination of characters, like Roy and Star Fox, maybe? Because she has a deflector ability. Ow.
Finish!
And that kick of hers reminds me of a Star Fox related character. Still no Shredder. Whoop. Oof. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ember's destroying this guy. Yeah, he's done.
Finish!
Dang, look at Ember go. Whoops. I guess we're fighting Rocco and Angry Beavers. Oh well. My bad. So I'm actually beating up the competition pretty good with Ember. But I know I'm going to struggle with Danny Phantom. Not very good with Danny. Once again, Danny is plagued with a mediocre moveset. He has a cool super move, but Ember is a more balanced fighter. That's just my personal opinion, but having played all the characters, I can definitely feel like Ember is a contender for a high-tier character. She's a lot of fun. Whoops. Oh, I can't. Okay. Packs a punch, too. You can come back from that. Ember reminds you of Amber? Yeah, my wife goes around hitting people with blunt objects like guitars and violins. Totally.
Ember's back and ready to rock.
3, 2.
Does Ember fight like Byleth? No, I don't think so. I want to say that she's a cross between, like, Roy and a Star Fox character. Because she has a shield deflection thing. And her recovery move reminds me of a Star Fox character, but I just can't remember who. But the way that she... You see how I'm holding in her, her heart attack? It reminds me of the buildup of, like, Roy when he, like... There's no big explosion when she smashes the ground. But it feels similar to, like, either a Roy or a Ike character, I guess you could say. Or maybe a Crom character, I don't know. Because Crom is a combination of Ike and Roy. Like, he's like a clone of those two characters. Whoop. Ouch. Yeah, that's nice. Wait for it. Walk into this. Seriously? Boom. Alright, we're already at Vlad. Let's go. Now, if I don't jinx myself, I could get S rank with her. Maybe. No! Your power pales in comparison to mine? Okay.
Your power pales in comparison to mine.
I don't know about that. Ember's kind of kicking your butt, dude. Why are you just standing there? Oh, you hit me for once. Good for you. Wow, I can cheese this pretty easily. Are you now? Oh, I missed it! I missed her super move. Well, oh well. Takes a long time to build up her super. I kind of wanted to show it off, but... Nah, alright. We're still gonna win, though. Oof. There we go. S rank. I know it. I got a feeling. I got a feeling. I got a feeling. Yep. Knew it. Why is the... Okay, so her camera is off. She should be lower on the screen, but whatever. Okay, guys, Danny Phantom to close it out. Let's go. Danny Phantom. I'm not very good as Danny Phantom. I kind of want to give this a shot. That looks interesting. I don't... remember what that's from. Futuristic Danny.
Danny Phantom.
Danny Phantom. Oh, where Danny went inside of a video game? So we beat Ember in 10 minutes. Best time, Ember, 10 minutes. Grandmother, 11 minutes. Squidward, 12 minutes, 14. 10 for SpongeBob, too. So Ember is the fastest time through. 10 minutes, 3 seconds.
Danny Phantom. 3, 2, 1.
Yep, so, I mean, personally, I think Ember's a better character, like, moveset-wise in this game.
You miss me?
Hey, you gotta make your own fun.
Oh, I beat up Odie, sorry. Yeah, I still don't like that thermos move. I know that it's based on the show, but I don't like that move. The Phantom thermos, eh. It's not very strong.
I was aiming for the birds, but you'll do.
Stop coming back! No. No, you gotta turn around, Danny. There you go.
I was aiming for the birds, but
Oof.
Finish.
That's why Garfield hates Mondays, yep. Totally. Uh-oh. Danny versus all Avatar characters with Azula on my team. Okay.
Guess I'm ready as I'll ever be.
The Avatar is back. Check this out.
Oh, sorry, Azula. Of course I have it. Oof.
Stop that.
Ah!
Face me.
You almost destroyed my Azula partner. Aang survived that? Wow. Nice recovery. Oof. There we go. Just gonna... why is the victory music playing when the match isn't over? Okay, well that's a fun glitch. Little premature there. Really premature. Okay. That was weird. No.
Time to go maximum ghost.
3,
Pumping me up for winning, yeah.
1, ready.
Take that.
Whoops. Yeah, Danny's... I mean, he's an okay character, playable-wise. Oof. But I don't like some of his moves.
Finish.
Da, 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 da. Ba-da-da-da. Oh my god. SpongeBob's next. Come on, Danny.
Guess I'm ready as I'll ever be. Okay, here we
You got an Xbox Series X today? Cool. Enjoy your system.
Yes.
Ooh. Why? The teleport gets some getting used to, but it's okay. Especially once you get full control of it. Kind of reminds me of Zelda's teleporting a little bit. Yeah, it doesn't have enough oomph. I didn't think so. Going Ghost!
Finish!
Danny versus SpongeBob. SpongeBob wins. Oh, finally we get the Shredder tonight. Danny versus the Shredder. Always fun.
Hello, suckers!
Alright, Plankton, go away.
Yes, good. Come on.
Well, he has a better basic combo than he did in the first game. I still don't like majority of his moveset, though. Just when you think he's getting, like, some better moves, then they bring back a move that nobody wanted, like the Thermos. Thermos has a bad range, and it just... I don't know. Also pushes Danny back. Can put you at a disadvantage.
Finish!
Alright, Danny, let's keep going. Raphael. Da 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 da.
Are you ready for this?
Let's go. Sorry, Raph. No offense, dude.
I was aiming for the bird.
Alright, Danny wins. Moving on. 17 seconds. The Shredder. Now, the Shredder is actually one of the more difficult bosses in this game. The fact that he shows up so randomly sometimes is kind of annoying, but... is what it is. Now... It was a really cool boss fight, though, but he happens so... random. Sometimes you get him fighting as the Ninja Turtles, other times he doesn't show up at all. In fact, out of all the characters that we looked at tonight, Danny is the only one who's come across Shredder. Although I did fight Shredder as Ember, so I think Danny Phantom characters can all battle Shredder. Or the jellyfish guy.
I am through toying with you.
Through toying with me, okay. Dang. Shredder was my main in the previous game. I miss Shredder. Oof, those throwing stars. Ah! No, 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 no! Ah! Well, no S rank for Danny. As soon as you continue, no S rank. Oof! No! He moved!
Soon, I will be unstoppable.
You moved! Oh.
Finish. The Shredder will be back.
Yeah, I'm in trouble. Alright, so I have to beat 1, 2, 3, 4 guys before getting to Vlad. Vlad's gonna make me continue, probably. Let's go against Ren and Snippy. Shredder is only for cool kids, Max. Okay. Alright. I'll give you that. I mean, he seems to randomly show up, so... But I still think it's based on what character you play as. I don't think it has anything to do with the difficulty. I think it's like what character route you're going with. So, Danny Phantom characters, Ninja Turtles characters... Shoot! Yeah, his up recovery is not good. I don't like Danny's up recovery. A rank it is. Darn. I don't like his thermos, and I don't like his air recovery move. It's not very good. Shoot. Gotta get away from the edge there. Oh, that was a cheap shot. Nah. You do a reversal? Oh, that's right, I don't have a... Now I just need to deal with the beavers. A beaver. Uh-oh. Oh, come on! Nobody wants to go inside the thermos! No!
Finish!
Ugh. Not good, not good, not good.
Guess I'm ready as I'll ever be.
3, 2, 1,
Right.
go!
Oh wait, this is just wasting time.
Finish!
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, SpongeBob versus Danny, and then Vlad. Beaver said no! Alright, SpongeBob, let's go. Ow. Seriously, blowing bubbles at me? Really? Going ghost! Oof. Oh, actually that's a nice... I didn't even see that. Yeah, that's a good one. That's not. I don't like that one. Especially when they have him do that for a super move. He uses the thermos, so... Yeah, his eye laser should have been his big attack. There's that kind of like basic zzz. Ouch. Time for you to go, SpongeBob. Or not. Why? Get out of here. What? No! He didn't die? Ah! Dang, SpongeBob. Just go away. There we go. Alright, Vlad versus Danny. Let's go! Oof.
Your power pales in comparison to mine. See ya.
Yeah, I don't like that move at all.
Your power pales in comparison to mine.
That move, on the other hand, that does some serious damage.
I'll beat you. I just need more power.
Did you like that, Vlad?
I won't let you defeat me. You can't.
I can't defeat you, because I kind of am. Danny. We got it!
See ya.
Okay, that was fitting. Alright, we did it. He's a phantom! A rank, probably. Really? Really? Alright, whatever. We got one. Alright, guys, so that's it. That's all. Spider-Man is going to be next. Look at it at 7:30. I need to grab some cereal, get some food in me, and then we'll continue the Spider-Man story. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tomorrow we're covering the Nintendo Direct, so no worries. And we have a Spider-Man short for you guys. Yeah. Alright, guys. Take care. Thank you so much for watching. No super chats on the stream, so we're good to go. Alright, guys. See you in a little bit. Spider-Man is next.